Check it out. Thursdays, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Noon, Eastern. A healthy dose of Jersey Girl wisdom. Live with Rev Jersey Girl. Sponsored by New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
And good morning, dear ones. Rev Briz over here.
Rev Z right here.
And we're a couple of ministers talking shit. That means it's Friday morning, 7 a.m. on the Mountain Time Zone. And we are here to connect with you, to say good morning, to take a look at what's going on in the world. Today we've got a special guest. We'll introduce him in just a moment or two. But we've got to kick off this morning by asking the question, have you read it? See, have you read it in the last day or so?
I have read it, and it's a good read. It's a good read. Some people, I'm gonna recommend that book to everybody.
So, folks, if you don't get what the inside joke is here, that's okay. Revolution happened on Wall Street, and it was bloodless. Well, we don't know about that.
Yeah.
There might be some stories coming in the next few weeks of some people that decided not to stick around after what happened. But basically speaking, there was a massive shift of wealth through the stock market, using the stock market's games against itself, and we're happy about it. Well, Z, you weren't too happy about it.
No, because I didn't buy any of the stock. I didn't have any GameStop. So I'm kind of upset.
But you might want to check, folks, if you've got any GameStop laying around, you got anything by AMC, BlackBerry, there's a couple more, and we're going to kind of discuss that and share on that a little bit as we go here today. We're going to keep talking about that. But before we do, we want to introduce you to someone who I personally am very excited to have with us this morning. He's got a new show coming on a New Thought Media Network, and let me make sure I get the show name correctly. It's Conscious Living Connection, and he's going to be on the network with us. Reverend Adrian Moore is a New Thought minister, educated at the University of Metaphysics at the University of Sedona, Sedona. We've been getting to know each other over the last week or two, and really just love the energy, love the laughter, love the insight, love the wisdom that this man, and he just dropped out. So maybe he'll be back.
Yes.
Okay. I guess
maybe bad connection. Everybody's on the internet now trying to read it, man. That's what
everybody's trying to find out what GameStop is. Yeah, exactly. So see, let's actually break this down. Let's help people understand what happened here. Now, I'm not in the market. I just watch the market, so I'm not an expert. I know that you are in the market to an extent. You're not a big, huge Wall Street scumbag. I appreciate that about you. But break it down for us. Tell us a little bit about what happened over the last couple of days.
So you have a bunch of small sites. I call them small sites. Robinhood and a couple of other ones that are set up for trading, set up for people to learn and understand how the market works. And so they give you the opportunity to buy a fraction of shares. So if you don't have enough to buy a whole share, you can buy a half of a share or a quarter of a share, and begin to accumulate. This whole thing about accumulating wealth, and you can use it to do that. And so around these different platforms, they organically create chat rooms where people go in and like the old fashioned back in my day, the investment clubs, people would get together. People would look at different industries, different stocks, and they'd meet on a weekly or bi-weekly, monthly basis. And somebody had a homework assignment to go and study a company and then come back and try to present it to the group and say, let's buy this or not buy this or whatever. So that's a little quick wrap up. But what happened, one of the hedge funds shorted a stock, meaning that company, that hedge fund said this stock is going to drop, so we're going to short it, right? So we think in the short term,
This is where the gambling comes in, folks, right?
Yes.
They're taking a heavy bet that this is going to be a loser of a company, that this company is about to go under.
Right. And so the public, the populace, if you did, said, no, we don't want that to happen, or we don't think that's fair, or whatever the rationale was. And excuse me, they began to dump money in that stock. And so I don't know. I haven't been, my son had it, and I think he sold it. He's probably mad right now. But that stock at one point last year, I think, was selling for $5, $6 a share. It closed the other day up over 300, or close to 300. I haven't followed it because, again, I'm mad. But but what it sets up is these hedge funds can really sway the market. And if you're not careful, you're just at the mercy of these big guys. Now, I worked on Wall Street. Some of you may not know this, but I did work on Wall Street. Although Robert gave me some leeway. I worked on Wall Street for about 15 years. I wasn't in the stock trading, but I did work for a company that did trade. And if you don't have a great math system, you lost. So the good people, the little people, congrats on getting that hit with AMC and GameStop and all the other ones that got some money on it. So congrats to you guys.
It's definitely a story where and here's the rub, right, folks? Wall Street ain't happy about this. Basically, a group of people on a Reddit subpost bankrupted a $13 billion hedge fund. Those guys aren't happy about that, and they actually took steps to stop them. And you can't buy GameStop yesterday on Robinhood and other places and other platforms, and a lot of them. And it pointed to the disparity that's always been there and continues to be there. And this is really, from my perspective, a lot of ways, an attempt to level the playing field. And on this network, this station, we've been talking about reforming American culture all summer long, all year, all of last year, pretty much. We're talking about this reforming. Well, here's another example of it. Here's an example of where we don't have to play the game the way it's always been played, because collectively we're creating a world that works for everyone, not just those that got in early or happen to have a big chunk to get into the game in a big way. All right. Looks like our special guest has got his internet connection back. He's in the studio. So we're going to just, without too much more further introduction, we're going to bring in Reverend Adrian Moore. Reverend Adrian, welcome to Ministers Talking Shit.
Hey guys, good morning. Great to be here. Sorry I was late. I had to do a little dance with my internet, and so I had to. The internet was introducing a new step to me, so I think I mastered it. Yeah, I think we're dancing now. We're together. Yeah, you guys sound like you're hot and heavy into it.
Well, we're having fun. So, did you have GameStop?
No. I'm not real. My video game life kind of ended in the 80s. So I travel by there every now and then and peek in. Yeah. But Reverend T, man, I enjoyed your show, man. I want to say that. I've checked you out a couple of times, man, and it was really, really cool, stopping in on you. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I bet you right now when you walk by GameStop, you're gonna have a frown. You ain't gonna look in that window no more. You're gonna say, "Dag nabbit."
I'm gonna look and I'm gonna be like, F right, man. You're still here, right? You're still here. Because this company, right? Let's look at this from another perspective, folks. This isn't just money. This is somebody's dream. Somebody started this. Now, whether they started it because they just wanted to make money, or they were passionate about games, or they saw a need, somebody sat in the seat that we all sit in, saying, "Hey, this is a grand idea. This is something that's necessary. Let's do this." And to have Wall Street control your ability to access cash and capital because they want to make money because they're just betting against you.
Wow.
I never liked the guy that would bet against me, no matter what
I hear you. I hear you. So I'm on your page now. Okay, I'm on the page. Well, I heard a statement, as I was trying to get this two-step with my internet. I kind of heard a statement about, creating a world that works for everybody. And I'm on that page. I think that it's a great idea to want a world that works for everybody, but everybody's got to believe that there's a world that's already working. And I'm pausing for effect because most of those people who don't know what some of us know, they don't believe in a world that's already working. See, we see the world that's working from where we are in consciousness. We see a world, there's only one world that's working. And so I like to talk about that. What practices do we engage in to help those who are where they are to discover a world that's working?
And ironically as it is, this Reddit thing with GameStop is a perfect idea for that to be the jumping off point, right? Because here is an idea where we got a group of people who were they had certain levels of savviness in understanding stocks and trades and companies and profits and loss and all of that stuff. So there were some people who didn't understand how that world of stock market worked for everyone if you played it, but they were curious. Somebody created a resonance that they were curious enough to be drawn into that circle. And as the people at the upper echelon, I hate that word, I shouldn't have said it, at another level, right?
Yeah.
Who had a better understanding, their resonance was so high, they draw all those people who resonating at that same frequency vibration. Right. And now they have a better understanding of how the world works for everyone. But if you're not on the frequency, you're going to miss channel.
Exactly. So I mean, and I'm just going to throw this out there because I know we're radical dudes, man. I really believe that for me, that we are in the process of really, so the Bible talks about creating a new heaven and a new earth. Okay. I really think that those of us who are of spiritual consciousness are being challenged to literally visualize a whole new system, a new system of thinking, a new system of being. That sounds a little cosmic fundamental, but I'm really, if you could tap into that with me, I mean, we need a Wall Street that's quote unquote controlled, if you will, or managed by people who know who they are. I mean, with that until that happens, because the people who are there, they're going to do what they've always been doing. And when I say the people that are there, the mindset that is there, the mindset. So this is where, honestly, this is where I am. I mean, I'm with everybody. The part that I'm contributing, I'm believing that as our reggae, as the reggae genre has communicated to us for decades, that Babylon has fallen. I mean, it really has, and so I'm just not interested in trying to preserve Babylon with my, with my awareness. I mean, it's fallen. And so I'm really believing for, that, there's another set of individuals who are now evolving into this new, a completely new existence on all fronts. I mean, I really, you got to forgive me. I just looked at all the Star Wars movies over the last 3 weeks, so I'm real
cosmic, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I think go ahead, Robert. I think you had a thought.
No, go ahead. You got it.
So I like what you just said about the rebuilding, right?
Yeah.
Robert and I use this concept, I use and Robert tolerates me, my whole concept of the $6 million man of an astronaut, right?
Yeah.
Going cosmic, who's in an accident, who gets totally broken. And the cosmic minds say, but we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We have the know-how. right? And so that's what's happened right now. We have gotten into a point to where every system that we have, education, medical, government, finance, all of these systems have been brought to base level.
Yes.
And now we have the opportunity to rebuild them with the concept of everything that's working for everybody. Understand that there's an integralness, there's an interrelationship, just like your body that interrelates.
Right.
That's why they were able to rebuild the $6 million man, because they understood how the systems work together. And they said, oh, I can put a computer here and leave some human here. And we began to create a place that allows everybody to rise to the level that God has created them to be.
Exactly. I love it, man. I love it. Absolutely.
And it's not so much that I tolerate the $6 million man.
Hilarious.
It just reminds everybody how old we actually are.
Because
and it brings to mind the fact that I always saw the Bionic Woman as a perversion of Wonder Woman. She just wasn't quite the same, right?
Perspective. I was going to say the same thing, Robert. That's hilarious. That wow, we're really dating ourselves here. I guess I'll throw an Evel Knievel reference in a minute. You know what's funny? No, let me say this. Our generation is funny. I was thinking about this the other day. There are about 4 icons that I believe our age group were affected by. One, Bruce Lee, Evel Knievel, Muhammad Ali. Who else would it be? Definitely, and Elvis.
Well, and now, if we just full circle that, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because now I think some of the newer generation, one of their $6 million man at a more cosmic level would be the Matrix. If we just stop there, okay, and we leave it there, and now we bring it all the way back to the concept of this whole thing with Reddit and the stock market, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we look at how can you begin to take a matrix effect or a matrix viewpoint in what's going on now, right? Yeah. So because the Matrix, Neo, right? The Neo fight, what Neo stands for, gives you the opportunity and the idea to say, hey, let us begin to take advantage of concepts of consciousness, and I can dodge a bullet, or I can move at a point to where you don't even think I'm moving so fast.
Right.
Because that's what consciousness allows us to do when we tap into it. And so that's what happened on Reddit.
Absolutely. And you know what? Funny you should say that. I think this generation, especially those who are approaching their 20s, I think in their 20s and 30s, they are completely they're open to new ways of thinking, new ways of seeing, and new ways of being. So they're ready. I really believe that they're ready for that. And I think what will help that is our ability to validate the spirituality that they're expressing where they are, for the purpose of still having some influence with them, but really validate. And I say that because I'm a musician as well, but I'm not really into a lot of the hip hop that's out there now in certain sounds. But I realize that in order to connect to them, I got to get that language. I got to see where they're coming from, and I got to find a way to validate it. Just to still have some influence, if I could use that in there. Yeah.
But we'll have to get a side note on that. I got some ideas for you.
Okay.
I'm a frustrated musician.
Interesting.
But go ahead, Robert.
So here's what I'm hearing.
Okay.
$6 million man.
Yeah.
And Neo.
Yeah.
Get together in a bar with a bunch of 20 and 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
Who don't have a lot of money, but collectively they do. And here's the key to what worked in how this was all possible is they all decided to work together.
They decided.
We rebuilt something.
Mm-hmm.
We rebuilt something on a new perspective of how life really is.
Yeah.
Right. Back in the 6 million, back when we were kids, I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't taught that I could go and do and be and have anything I wanted.
Right.
Today's kids have been brought up in a lot of ways with a new thought, positive message in their culture, in their background, being told they can be, seeing other kids, seeing women, others in that look like them, other skin colors and tones, being able to actually succeed and accomplish things. And the kids today are more empowered. So they get together and they say, hey, me alone, I can't do anything. But because of your own rules, because of your attempt to cheat the public, I can use derivatives, we can use fractional trading, we can use all these tools that the elite tried to use or did use for so long, reverse the tables, and we really do have a matrix moment. We really do pull back the screen, we really do pull back the facade and say, hold on a minute, not only have you been cheating everybody, but now we figured out how to do it and not really even break the law.
Wow. Right.
This is, I heard somebody say, this is not Occupy Wall Street. This is infiltrate Wall Street.
Wow.
And what I trust is a lot of that 13 billion that got transferred is going to end up in the hands of good nonprofits, of good cause-based work. It's going to end up in the hands of charities. I trust that this younger generation has not bought into the I need $1 billion in the bank to feel worthy and to feel like now I can go do something, but are going to go do something with what they have today because of all of this. That's my vision. My dream in this is these kids, they're waking up. And I call them kids. I'm sorry. They're all adults, right? Kids to be, again, I'll making myself old here. But so, hoorah, kudos, yeehaw, right? Yippee-ki-yay, because you guys have showed us there's a different way we can do finances, and we don't have to allow the fear-based competition of short sales.
Well, you know, and that's a great thing, Robert, because something we've talked about, I always talk about it because I was involved in one way back when, but we're now moving back to an idea that started with the hippies, if they say, this whole idea of cooperatives, right? Where people are living in a communal environment. Now, originally it was a living communal or co-op, or it was a food co-op, which now that whole idea got taken over by Whole Foods and the likes, and nothing Whole Foods because I like Whole Foods, but that idea spawned from these food co-ops where people would get local people, bring in the food, bag it, deliver it. If you work, the more you work, the less you got prices, and it worked. So now we're moving into an idea. Same idea was popular when they started investment clubs. People who didn't have enough money to get in, they would get together, pool their money, do some research, and some of those guys became hedge funds, right? Because they did so well, they amassed some money, and now they spun it off in a company, and people said, these guys went from 0 to 1,000. I trust them with my money, right? So that same kind of idea is being populated right now because these kids have, across racial lines, across gender lines, they have been able to forge some kind of relationship, and we know we all still have our idiosyncrasies, right? But work in progress. But but the basic idea of working together and coming to say, hey, let's make something happen collectively. That seed is planted, it's getting roots, and now some of the ones who planted gardens, and we don't want to plant no more. We just want to harvest. We gotta sow into these next generations to do exactly that.
Got it. Yeah. So we're not recreating the wheel. The process is what it is. Now it's about validating the good that we see in them, to encourage them, to motivate them. Gotcha. Yes. And get in it with them.
Oh, you got to get, because the sun has been rising the same way forever.
I love that.
And so But we've learned how to adapt and use that sunrise in many different ways over and over and over and over again based on the original idea. So that's what we have to, like Robert and I talk all the time. This is a cycle. We live in a cyclic world. It's a spiral at 0.360, and we have to tap into that knowledge and that vibration along certain lines of understanding to make things happen.
Reverend Z, say that sun rising thing again. Say that again.
The sun has been rising the same way forever.
Okay, pause, because I'm going to put that in a song. All right, you may continue. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I'm writing it down now.
Here again is the collective thing.
Yes.
Like some people might have said, well, no, why does he want that? I ain't going to say that again. He going to take it and make a song. But see, I can't make a song no more. I gave up my instrument, right? And so I'm frustrated. And now I pass that vibration to you, and you can go do it.
Right. Hey, on a higher level, it is you. I'm just another version of you. So, it's only one. It's only one. Yeah, I love it.
I just transposed your beards. Kind of. I don't know.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I think Robert, I think I'm like you and I are brothers from another mother. Now Adrian and I are brothers from another mother, and I love the synergy of how we can take a point from different angles and make it go boom.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting. I love that. In Genesis it says, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. I use that to affirm that really, we're not really creating anything. We're forming what's always been there.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. This is awesome, man.
This is Ministers Talking Shit. So if you're joining us, folks, this happens every Friday morning at 7 a.m. Generally, it's Z and myself. Today, we've got our dear friend and a new host on the network, Reverend Adrian, with us. Reverend Adrian, tell us a little bit about your upcoming show.
I'm really excited and honored first to have some new buddies that I can hang out with first. I mean, this is really cool, but I'm excited to be airing the Conscious Living Connection. It's going to be on Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Yes. And we're going to be talking about different things, giving different lessons, and the whole goal will be to wake up the divine connection that connects us all. I'm real excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm excited because that's us that have been inspired. However, if we stumbled into it, we walked into it, we fell into this idea of conscious living, no matter what the name, no matter what the package.
Yeah.
Now is the time, and this is the hour for us to step forth if we want to use what God has given us to create a vortex, to create a resonance, to create a vibration that allows, as it says in the Bible, those who have eyes, let them see. Those who have ears, let them hear. We can't force this, but we can definitely set a tone and let everything in the room vibrate at that level and draw it in.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Beautiful. Well, hey, look at that, folks. We have effectively filled the 30 minutes that we are generally allotted. Then again, we make up the rules, so
you do the matrix on it.
Yeah, this is what I love about Fridays. I'm fully awake long before morning prayers. We've always have a rousing discussion to get the day going, and there's nobody on behind us, so we make up the rules. We can go long if we want to go long. So we do. So we're gonna respect your time, folks, and let you get into your day. We want to thank you for being with us here on the New Thought Media Network. It is thanks to viewers and listeners like you that we're able to do this. So if today is your day to hit that donate button, thank you so very much. It's in the linked There are links in the comment box or in the description of this video. If you have any ideas on things you'd like us to talk about or concepts you'd like us to cover, shoot us an email, ministertalk@ntmedia.org. That's ministertalk@ntmedia.org. Send us your ideas, send us your feedback. Hey, if we said something you didn't like, send us that too. We need to know that as well. So, Adrian, we kind of got a little cut short with the internet connections today, so I hope you'll come back and join us again some Friday.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep, sure will.
All right, Z, you're our resident Wall Street expert. Who? All right, yeah, we can't give advice.
Can't give advice. but I will say, start studying. Find. You. I'll go back to my patented phrase: educate, conversate, and activate. So go do that in the market. Find out what you can do, where you want to play. Understand what you're doing, and stick your toe in the water. Pretty soon you'll be ready to jump in.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Thanks for staying with us, folks. If you don't mind, hang out for one more minute and let us get a message in from our sponsors. But we're Ministers Talking Shit. We'll be back next Friday with more of the same. Until then, peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
Peace, everyone.